Yo, what is up, Kings? I hope all is well. I don't know if you guys have seen this lately. I'm sure most of you guys have. This Mark Zuckerberg change, this visual appearance change, and I definitely noticed it before. I saw people commenting about it on X. And then, but I don't really, by and large, give a fuck about these guys. These people are scum of the earth. They are complete sellouts and phonies for the most part. Now, on a certain level, I do understand, especially given the fact that they are men. Men need to contribute. Men need to become, strive, become successful. So I don't necessarily have an issue with that. And as I said, I even understand it. But especially in some of these like technological, social media spaces, and like the elites of elites spaces, these people become so detached from reality that it is crazy. And I saw this post from this chick. I have no fucking idea who she is. Maybe I can see, just give it a shout out just in case, maybe if you guys want to check it out. So I'm actually just gonna read it. By the way, guys, give me a follow on X at Life as a Chad. Her name, I shouldn't even fucking say her name because she's a chick, but but it's just a thought. I've never heard of this person, and the post says the Joe Rogan Experience is a present day example of Operation Mockingbird. It is a tool of the state in slash intelligence presented to the masses as the podcast of a down to earth dude just asking some questions. Its purpose is to manage the image of characters on the world stage, release disclosures slash controlled narratives and counter narratives, and manipulate the minds of millions. The MSN or MSM, mainstream media, went under a controlled demolition years ago. I don't know about years ago, but I mean it depends on what she considers years ago, I suppose. I would agree with this last statement. Um, I would not use the word demolition, but they in some ways they have decided to, like they always do, to become more hip, more with it, to appeal. I got dust on my fucking mic. Um, to appeal more with it and more for the people. Okay, that's been going on forever, while also appealing to the bulk of their audience, which happens to be whatever the older generation is. But I don't know that I would say demolition. I wouldn't go that far. Um, Tweak is the word I would use. To herd its viewers into other forms of media, which can be further surveilled slash tracked. But the owners never changed, and the goal remained the same as always: control the population. We are only allowed to see what those owners want us to see so that we think what they want us to think. So I guess I will respond to this. I wasn't expecting to respond to this. I mainly, and then she posts, this is mainly what I wanted to talk about. She posts these pictures here. I'm not sure who this guy is. But I know obviously this is Elon Musk. That is Mark Zuckerberg with his fucking chain. Do your chain hang low? Do it wobble to the flow? Do it shine in the light? Is it platinum? Is it gold? Man, that song was fucking huge back in the day. Um, and so I thought it was interesting, and I saw the picture, and I'm looking at Mark Zuckerberg, and he is obviously having this appearance change. And that was the main thing that I did want to discuss is Mark Zuckerberg specifically. But for I will just quickly address her post, okay? The comments, a lot of people kind of went in on her. This is kind of like a Alex Jones take. Her take is what I would expect from somebody who is like newly acquainted in right wing politics and uncovering the globalist agenda, the globalist regime. And yes, globalism is a thing. But you do start to realize as time goes on that some of these like factions, right versus left, or well, more specific, because it is, as far as the people go, it is rightism versus leftism, for the most part. Okay, traditionalism, Christianity versus non-traditionalism, non-Christianity, secularism, and this is why, for my fellow Christians who believe, when they see Donald Trump having, fucking these Indians doing Indian prayers up there, and Amber Rose up there, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. So as long as we are the main base of the party, but that shit will be allowed to occur so long as we allow it and stand idly by and allow it. Now, on the same token, and I understand this, and I said this even when I said what I said about Donald Trump and his campaign, is the left has had such god awful candidates that you almost can't even blame Christian conservatives for voting for Donald Trump and just wanting, cheaper gas or cheaper groceries. I do understand that on a certain level. But this is her take, to me, reminds me of like a very Alex Jonesy conversation or level of conversation. Everything's an op, everything's a psyop, everything's they're watching you and they're monitoring you. And again, are a lot of people psyops? Yeah, they are. Is there a lot of controlled opposition? You bet your sweet ass. But to pretend as if we know exactly what that is, uh, or to pretend as if the government has the resources, the manpower, or even really cares about us on an individual day-to-day basis to really monitor us on any level that is substantive, I don't know that I buy that. They obviously have the technology to do so with social media, and so is there kind of like this passive tracking that's going on? Perhaps, perhaps. But I'm just not sold that it's this ulterior, um, we're going to utilize this to dictate the moves of every single person. No, 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 because people are way more influenceable than the average person believes. So it's a lot easier to pull off this bullshit. A lot of people are just fucking dumb. And this is why they don't need all these crazy spectacular tricks to pull off what they're trying to pull off. But anyways, I'm getting in the weeds here. Let's look at some of the comments. This is some of the dumbest shit I've ever read. And then she said, okay, explain your reasoning. This is from Massachusetts, Mike. Okay, enough is enough. So tell me then, even if Joe Rogan is also propaganda, because that's basically what she's saying is that Joe Rogan is propaganda, is pure silence a good option? If everything is mind control, what is real then? How can I listen to, say, Elon Musk talk about edits if I want to hear him talk directly? And that's a fair point. I mean, you have to, guys, and I know it's easy to do this, but you do have to be careful about becoming too black pilled. Too, I remember seeing, and this kind of awakened me a little bit to, because I really did. I didn't like start going down the rabbit hole like a crazy amount, but I was like somebody who listened to Alex Jones And it's hard not to just buy in and say, yeah, that is what it is. This is why America sucks. And usually the answer is a lot more straightforward than that. And I'm so glad that I got off the Alex Jones train based on some of the shit that I've seen him say lately. The answer usually is much simpler. And I cannot stand when people give way more credit to our government than they deserve. You mean to tell me, on one hand, they're fucking incompetent to the point, have you seen California lately? To the point of disaster, yet they're also simultaneously unbelievably intelligent in the mass manipulation on a day-to-day basis. I'm just not sure I buy it. I think what's more likely is the average human being is just that, average. They don't give a fuck. They passively take in information. They are NPCs and they go with whatever the trend is. And so it's much easier than you think to kind of have things go a certain way. Okay. Um, and that's it. That's it. Joe Rogan, is he propaganda? I don't know that I'm willing to believe that. He's an elite, but he is a guy that is a curious guy. Does he also care about his money? Yes. And that's also the thing that you have to realize about the elites, which I'm going to get to with Mark Zuckerberg. At the end of the day, all of these individuals, I need to make a shirt that says at the end of the day, these people care about their own bottom line. So now some people care more about, their internal fortitude and morals and things like that, and perhaps Joe Rogan is more in line with that. But usually it's a balance of the two. It's your moral compass mixed with, your bottom line. How much money are you trying to make? How much is enough, and I don't know that I'm willing to say Joe Rogan is propaganda. I think he's a guy that likes sitting down, shooting the shit with people, giving people a fair shake. And at the end of the day, there it is again. If you believe in free speech, you shouldn't be like, now, I don't believe in free speech. I don't think that it's a thing. I don't believe in any rights. Okay. The only right that I believe in, well, no, I don't believe in any right, because rights are man-made. They are thoughts. They're thoughts in the wind. They're not anything substantive that you can touch, feel, taste, whatever. Okay. Freedom of speech, as you guys have seen over the last 10 years, can be taken away just as quickly as it was given, just depending on who's in power. And again, this is the evolution of a critical mind. You start to realize that it's much simpler. It's the elites versus us. What is the bottom line for the elites? What is their individual self-interest? What are they trying to accomplish? And then you realize, okay, well, shit. When it comes to things like freedom of speech, this whole idea of well, America is just an idea. Well, no. America is whoever has fucking power in America. That is what America is. Politics is us versus them. And there's a really popular Rumble streamer who always says that, and he's right. NF. Politics at its core is us versus them. That's simple. So I don't know that I buy, Joe Rogan being this, if you believe in free speech, you should believe that it's okay for Joe Rogan to have a wide variety of people on his platform, and let the people decide. Let the people decide whether they believe in Mark Zuckerberg's bullshit. Now, the original point of this video, before your boy went on a tirade there, is to discuss Mark Zuckerberg. Obviously, he has had a change. Let's read some of the other comments. Why do you need to hear Elon Musk talk to know that he is untrustworthy? And why doesn't Kamala show other than being dumb as a lark? Because deep state. That's a good one. Interesting theory. But if the owners are controlling Rogan, then They must enjoy airing their own contradictions because his guests shred mainstream narratives daily. And then she goes, "What do you think counter narratives are?" Well, but again, this is just kind of mumbo jumbo. I mean, what's the point of a counter narrative? I guess the argument of a counter narrative is that it gets you off the scent. It gets you, battling with all these different viewpoints, but you're never really accomplishing something. And I do believe that that is a real thing. Is Joe Rogan that? Again, I'm not sold. But Mark Zuckerberg obviously is having a change. He's going with the cool jiu-jitsu guy that also by day is this fucking this nerd geek who runs Facebook, but also does jiu-jitsu in his free time and wears fucking Zuck shirts. It's interesting. It's interesting. I think that he probably is going for on an individual level again to affect his bottom line based off of who is going to be in power for the next 4 years, aka Donald Trump, aka Elon Musk. And it's that simple, guys. It is literally that simple. These guys that own these massive companies are most of them liberals at heart? Yes. Most of them are. Even fucking Elon Musk is mostly what I would consider liberal. But what they're looking at is their bottom line. And Mark Zuckerberg, when he figured out that Donald Trump was going to win and was the winner, that guy changed like that in order to accommodate and make sure that his business was in the best place possible for the next 4 years with Donald Trump at the helm. This is not rocket science, guys. It all depends on who is in power. And, Mark Zuckerberg is going with this more, um, you know, uh, I don't know, modern kind of uh, white bro look, and I understand it because I have it myself. Good for him. He's kind of low key. He's kind of low key becoming a gym bro. Honestly, he is kind of low key becoming a gym bro. He's kind of going for like the more masculine look instead of like this fucking, nerd dweeb that runs Facebook. You got the black shirt with the gold chain. He's riding his fucking go-kart there. He's doing his jiu-jitsu. He's playing fucking guitar. It's interesting. It definitely is interesting. I don't know what more to make of it other than he's trying to he's trying to put himself in a better light with the new era of, up and comers, Zoomers, younger generation. And he knows that there are certain people that the younger generations follow. So from that perspective, is it possibly a psyop? Sure. But in general, I think most of this is just him trying to put Facebook in a positive position to succeed. I mean, is he still a liberal goofball? Of course. Should you trust him? Do I recommend trusting this guy? Not with a fucking 1,000 foot pole. I wouldn't. But eh, so but that's pretty much it, guys. I thought that this was interesting. And generally speaking, I think at the end of the day, guys, try not to overthink this stuff. Try to whatever the most consistent, logical, um, s- most of the time simple answer is what it usually is. The truth is closer to that. Human beings are not, at times we can be complicated, but by and large, we're fairly similar creatures across the board. And if on TV, you're not surprised when you see people having these power dynamics and appearing one way, but actually being another way behind the scenes, then you should believe it in real life too. Is Mark Zuckerberg this massive mastermind in geopolitical stuff? I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. I don't. I don't love him near the Trump presidency, but again, when it comes to geopolitics, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't necessarily know. From a conservative perspective, I would want to position myself with Zuckerberg in whatever way was advantageous for my worldview and to make sure that he didn't get over on us and our worldview. And so, if that is what Trump is doing, then I guess I'm okay with him mending the fence, but I'm not sold on that. Trump does have a history of saying one thing and then, the following month all of a sudden they're smiling, they're joking together. So, yeah, when I saw Trump at his the oh my gosh, it was before my time, Jimmy Carter's funeral, and you have all these elite politicians there. I mean, shit, you would hardly have guessed that it's likely that one, if not most of them, were behind his assassination attempt. Both. So, interesting times we live in, guys. Very interesting time, and I don't pretend to have all the answers. And anybody who does pretend to know all of these answers when they are not in that world specifically, they might be close to it. They might be adjacent to it, but they're not in it. Okay. The only people who know, no, 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 are like the top 1% of people who are really making decisions behind the scenes. So, but I'm gonna keep monitoring this. Maybe in the future we'll have a part two. Let me know what you guys think about the Mark Zuckerberg change in his look, his physique, his fashion. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment. You guys know the drill. You know what artists I've been kind of in on lately has been Joji. I had a friend, actually my best friend, who was a big fan of his YouTube stuff. And I remember he would show it to me, and I thought it was pretty funny, some skits, but not something that I was interested in enough to watch, multiple videos in a row. And he was just coming out with his music, and I remember hearing his music. And recently I listened to Dancing in the Dark. I think that song kind of slaps a little bit. But anyways, guys, all right, guys, I will see you guys next time. DBAP, don't be a pussy willow. In fact, our feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. I love you, King. See you guys next time. Christ is King. Peace.